you're interested in helping Ukrainians in any way, then listen to this video and I will help give you some ways that you can help those that are in need at this time. In Job 31:32, it says, "The sojourner has not lodged in the street. I've opened my doors to the traveler." Right now, many are traveling from Ukraine, and you know the reasons why. Many of them have lost their homes, their jobs, their children are frightened because of the airstrikes and all of this destruction that is around them. The European countries around them have had to absorb many Ukrainians and now Russians that are leaving, that do not want to serve in this conflict. And so here in the United States, a program has opened up called U4U. Now, this is United or Uniting for Ukraine. Our government has said that as long as there are sponsors, that Ukrainians can come over. Now, as a sponsor, does that mean that you have to provide for them financially? You do have to have a certain level of financial stability, and it's very minimum. I was surprised. I thought with the number of children we had or have and being on one income that we might not qualify, because they have to look at your tax return from this the last tax return you did from like last year. And then they also, if you have any assets, like you own your home, even if you have a loan out on it, they just deduct the loan from the value of your home. So say your home is worth $300,000, you have a $150,000 loan out on it, then you still have assets of $150,000 that they add in to your income. Okay, so say you made $100,000 a year, you have $150,000, so now you have a total of $250,000. And there's other, like if you own a business and it has a value, like you have equipment, or you have stocks, bonds, etc. All of that is taken into account, savings accounts. So you just use that so that you can sponsor more Ukrainians, okay? It's not that you have to have that money to give to them. Because what happens is you fill out that form that's provided by the government. It's called an I-134 form, and I can give you the website for that and how to get to it, or you could just Google it. But once you go there, you fill out the form, and I have little videos that tell how to fill out the form step by step, how to go about it. But like I filled out the form for the family that we are looking to sponsor, and like the next day we had confirmation that we had been approved to sponsor this family. Of course, I had to have their passports and some basic information from them, like their email, phone number, address, where they are right now. And our family at the time is in Belgium. Now, how do you match up with these families? There are different Facebook groups that you can go and pick a family. I was working with our friend Rodney that has a lot of information and experience with this. And we had just prayed and looked for a family, and then he said, "Have you seen this family?" And we had not. We had considered many others, but none were just like, "Oh, that's the one," until Rodney sent us this one, and we were like, Stephen and I both, that's the one. We want to help them. And so we started immediately, had a little conversation with them. We could video chat over WhatsApp. And then we were able to start the paperwork online. It was easy to fill out once we had our documents together, and I explained that in other videos. But the next day we had confirmation. By the next week, they had confirmation, and then travel authorization. So, do you have to financially fund them? No. They are looking for some way to get over here through sponsors so that they can start living a normal life again, as much as normal, until they find out how this is all going to end, and if they can go back and rebuild their homes and their businesses that have been destroyed. And most of them have little or no money, because all they had was their last paycheck. Sometimes that paycheck, or a lot of times that paycheck, is like equivalent to $200 a month for a family of 4. So how can we help? Well, one, we can sponsor a family. And that doesn't even mean that they have to live with you. Sometimes there are different types of sponsors or different roles in the whole process. One can be a sponsor that they just fill out the paperwork, they have the financial assets to get them approved to come over. And then another person that maybe doesn't have the financial assets to sponsor them will say, hey, I have a room, or I have an extra building or an apartment, or I would like to help find them an apartment, or I would like to help provide clothes for them. There's all different kinds of ways that you come alongside these sojourners as they are right now, without a home, without a place to go, children that are fearful and frightened, and some that have become introverted and shy because of the scare and having to go down to the basement or bunkers or bomb shelters 3 or 4 times a day and can't even focus or concentrate. Ones that have had families killed right around the corner from them due to airstrikes. So there's been a lot of trauma, and these people, most of them only have the clothes that they were able to take with them. So they need a lot. And then some, they had savings or some type of financial means still that they're able to support themselves for the most part, or to get over here. So again, how can we help? One, we can be the sponsor that just provides the paperwork for them to be able to get over here. And then somebody else can come alongside and help them find housing, or a church can come alongside. Many churches or Christians in our community and around the nation have banded together so that they can help pay the airfare for the family coming over. That's what happened with our family. We just said, hey, we've got this Ukrainian family coming over. We have great humanitarian ticket prices. And if anyone wants to help, well, in a matter of less than a week, we had all the money needed for our family, from an individual that wanted to give, from a couple of churches that wanted to help. And so it's been amazing to see God's people just spring into action, and those that want to help. So that's so it can be an individual. So you have the person that needs to do the paperwork. Then you can have others that come alongside, helping provide the money for the tickets if the family does not have money for the tickets to travel here. Then there's also ones that are like, hey, I can clean an apartment. I have this extra bed. I have this extra furniture. Others that want to go shopping. Maybe they're older and they don't have any children still at home, and they're like, I want to go on a shopping spree and help. Or they know where they can get some good used clothes, and they do that. Or some clothes that another child has outgrown that would fit a child that's coming over. Many different ways to help. Maybe you're a business owner, or you have a farm, or some type of physical labor type job that you can help employ these people that are coming over. There's many different ways. So again, the sponsor that fills out the paperwork, you can give financially. You can help if you have some type of housing that you know of. Some will even offer to pay for their rent for the first month or two, or a church will, until they can get their work permit and until they can start a job. Some will help provide a vehicle and then just have them make payments each month until they pay that vehicle off in a year. You might be able to be the person that can shuttle them back and forth. But we have a group, and it's called GTR, Uniting Ukrainians and Americans, something like that. But if you want an invite to that, or if you can find it on Facebook, look it up. That is where the ones in our 50-mile radius are all gathering together, seeing what families are coming in, what their needs are, and how we can help. You know, Jesus said, as you've done it unto the least of these, you have done it unto me. And so we have a very big heart for helping those that are in need. And right now, the Ukrainians are in need. And we think about what would it be like if it was us. And they are so appreciative of the help. I mean, like the family that we are in contact with right now, they're in Belgium. And they said Belgium has been a huge help, but they can't stay there. There's no heat in the place that they're living for the winter. Also, no jobs. And so we're able to have them come. Now, not only are we doing the paperwork, but we have an extra room in our shop that's like a little apartment game room office. It's a multi-purpose room that they're able to live there, because there are 4 of them, and there's enough beds and enough space for them to do that. Now, if they get and once they get a job, they want to move in town, rent an apartment or anything like that, then they're able to do that. But I wanted to let you know that it's not difficult to sponsor a family. You do not have to have a large income. You just have to have a minimal income that you'll say, you know, look, I'll help these people find a place to live or food and clothing once they get here. Again, many people come together to make this happen. It's not all left up to you, and we can help you work through that process. It was so easy. We have done it now for 2 families. We're in the process of a second family, actually the cousins to the first family that we were sponsoring. And again, they have nowhere to go. And so we're like, well, you know, we applied again. Still, because of our home, we were able to sponsor 4 more. Now, if they get approval, then that's 4 more. There is a nice community of Ukrainians here in the Golden Triangle. And it all started with one farmer. He can be on his combine during the day, making phone calls, talking with government officials. He's just been such an asset. And it started with one person here in the Golden Triangle area in Mississippi. And now we have a community of 30 plus Ukrainians and more families that are coming over, more families that are sponsoring, Christians that are excited about getting involved, and churches that want to be involved. And it's just been amazing to see all of this come together. So again, if you want any more information on sponsoring Ukrainians, or how you can help, maybe you can't sponsor, but maybe you can help even in the smallest way, even if it's $5, or even if it's just giving them a ride to go get their driver's license, or for their work permit, or one of the appointments that they have to have medically, like a TB test when they first get here. So any of that that you can help with, any part that you can play. And some speak English, some don't speak English, but Google Translate is awesome. It's on all of our phones, and we can just translate back and forth. Thankfully, our family speaks some English, so they'll be able to help other Ukrainians that are here that do not speak English. Again, hope this was helpful. Please reach out to us. We'll be glad to help in any way if you would like to be a part of helping the stranger, the sojourner that God talks about so much in the Bible, our neighbors that need our help. Goodbye.